Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Coming up later in the program, I'm going to be visiting with Lisa England about Hero Shift. I believe that's the name of the book. Going to be chatting with her later in the show here. That'll be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Also, got a quote for you today. You ready for a quote?
Ready.
Police officers and firemen are so visible in their daily work, there's no mistaking that they're there. And that presence makes people feel secure. End quote. That's from Erwin Redlener.
Love it.
And today is Peace Officers Memorial Day. So we'll tell you about that and many other things that are going on today. That's all coming up in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. You know what today is?
What is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It's Monday, May the 15th, halfway through May. How the heck did that happen?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem right. Today is, let's see, Hyperemesis Gravidarum Awareness Day. Whatever that is, it needs some awareness because I've never heard of it. Hyperemesis Gravidarum. I don't know. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. It's also International Day of Families. It is International MPS Awareness Day. It is National Slider Day. Ooh, I like sliders. National Tuberculosis Sclerosis Day. Nylon Stockings Day. Peace Officers Memorial Day. Straw Hat Day. You just bought a straw hat the other day.
I did.
Is that what that would be? That's a straw hat,
That's
right?
straw, yeah.
And then it's maybe not the one that you guys have in mind. It's not like a Huckleberry Finn straw hat.
No, it's like a cowboy hat.
It's a cool
thing.
straw hat.
It is cool.
And it's National Chocolate Chip Day today. That is one of the best cookies in the whole wide world, is a chocolate chip cookie.
My dad does not like chocolate chips.
Really?
He loves chocolate.
Huh.
But I made those coconut drop cookies that I make, and I put chocolate chips in them.
Yeah.
He loves coconut, loves
like
chocolate, but wouldn't eat them because there were chocolate chips in them. He said, you ruined them.
Well, we'll have to talk to him about that tomorrow. Coming up, we're going to find out some other weird things going on in the world. That's all on the way.
John and Heidi.
I love watching TV shows and movies, but I hated seeing my monthly bill get higher and higher. All that money every month just to watch TV. Well, not anymore. We cut our cable. We were paying $185 a month for channels we didn't even watch. Now we pay for just the internet, and we save about $150 a month. And we still get to watch what we want, when we want, with no monthly fee. Learn how you can do this too at channelsurfertv.com. Watch the video there to learn how to watch movies and TV with no monthly fee. Do it today and save 50% at channelsurfertv.com.
John and Heidi.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. A Malaysian man has been arrested after boiling his underwear in the same pot that he makes food in that he serves to people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of gross.
That's disgusting.
Health officials were about to search the food stand when a man pulled some underwear out of a cooking pot and threw them into a river. Some stand owners are said to think putting dirty underwear in their cooking pot attracts customers. How is that possible? The clothing was carried away by the river, could not be retrieved, but a spokesperson for the local health office says the man will be charged with obstructing enforcement officers. The offense carries a maximum of 2 years in jail. That seems a bit excessive, doesn't it?
Well, if he's obstructing justice,
I
no.
suppose. Spokespeople say that the method of using dirty underwear, which is believed to increase demand for food, is an untrue belief and it must be stopped. Well, of course it's an untrue belief. Who wants to eat food that was in with dirty underwear?
That's just nasty.
This is, again, it's a Malaysian man, so this is happening on the other side of the planet. But what makes them think anybody would desire food that was in the same pot as dirty underwear?
Maybe they think the cooked aroma of the dirty underwear calls people to their booth.
No, if that's the case, get a like a scent that you can spray. This is new car smell. What's this one? Dirty underwear boiled smell. I like that. Let's buy food from this stand. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And you'd think that this guy eats food out of that pot himself, wouldn't you think? If you're standing there working in a food stand all day.
It probably doesn't bother him.
Do you think he just eats the food before he puts the dirty underwear in there?
It probably doesn't bother him.
I don't know. I thought that was kind of gross. Yuck. Anyway, you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. Folks from Brisbane, Australia got the scare of their lives when 57-year-old Jeffrey Fryatt threatened to blow up half the city, but he was using his television remote control. He was quite drunk at the time, had the whole city in a panic. They didn't know what was going on. They actually had the police declare a state of emergency when he reportedly shouted at the top of his voice, "One push of this button will blow up half of Brisbane." Do you say Brisbane or Brisbane?
I say Brisbane, but I'm not from there, so I don't know how they pronounce it.
I did an interview with the guy once, and I'm pretty sure that he said it's Brisbane is where he was from. Anyway, this dude claimed his remote control was attached to some explosives planted in a nearby store, and it had a bunch of chemicals attached to it. Anyway, a lawyer representing this kook said that his client had been drinking too much lately after losing a huge amount from his life savings in a fraud scam. So, there you go.
Well, serves him right.
Somebody swindled him, and it doesn't sound like this is the brightest bulb on the old Christmas tree, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Got a remote control for his TV. One push of this button. You guys are all goners. Anyway, kids, that's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. It says here that Valparaiso, Indiana is where we're going to go for 24-year-old Walmart employee Christopher Sheets. He's in hot water after repeatedly making purchases to get change from a self-service cash register that was dispensing $20 bills instead of $1 bills. He worked there. Rather than notify the supervisors that there was a problem, like a good employee, he decided, I'm going to make a bunch of purchases for about 4.5 hours. He stood there, got $600 in change. Store security official later discovered the $20 bills and the $1 bills were in the wrong slots of this self-service register. After another customer complained the machine was giving $1 bills and change instead of 20s. So somebody put the bills in the wrong spot, and this dude cashed in to the tune of $600 before losing his job over the whole thing. So, yeah, that's not a good plan.
That serves him right, too.
Yeah, exactly. And he worked there. That's why this has been your moment of duh.
John and Heidi.
Would you like custom t-shirts for an event or sports team? We understand that usually the budget's not unlimited. We have full-color custom printed t-shirts for just $7 each. That's one of the best prices you'll find anywhere. No minimum orders, so you can print just one or print 1,000. The price is just $7 per shirt with a minimal setup fee per design. Make the memories of your next event last forever or help your team look amazing with a little help from CustomShirtInc.com. That's CustomShirtInc.com.
Now your scoop of the day. An Oregon man working for a tree service company tried to push his coworker into a wood chipper.
Ooh.
Yeah, that escalated quickly. Suppose they were talking politics?
Oh, my gosh.
He might have had that coming after all. Soccer star Cristiano Ronaldo has reached some impressive milestones online, Heidi. The Portuguese soccer player became the first athlete and the first male to hit 100 million followers on Instagram. The only other celebrities who can be in the $100 million fan club there on Instagram are Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, and Selena Gomez. So there you go.
And I honestly don't get any of those people.
You don't? Are you following them on Instagram?
No.
Well, if you did, you'd probably get them. Just kidding. Hey, Einstein Bagel Bros just launched the world's first caffeinated bagel called the Espresso Buzz Bagel.
I heard about this.
Each bagel contains 32 milligrams of caffeine, which is about a third of the amount that you'll find in an 8-ounce cup of coffee. So, did you hear about this? This actually happened like a week ago. Remember May 4th? They do the whole Star Wars Day, May the 4th.
Yeah.
I don't know how I didn't see this until just now. A high school student from Wisconsin says apparently the rest of the school missed the memo that was, May the 4th be with you day. Anyway, the students had to evacuate the building. An overly concerned parent called police saying somebody with a dark mask was walking into the school. It was a kid wearing a Darth Vader outfit for Star Wars Day. So the whole school had to be shut down. Everybody was freaking out.
Nobody knows what Darth Vader looks like?
Apparently this parent has never been around to see what that looks like. So, some scary looking dude just walked in wearing a mask.
Although I understand the concern because
absolutely,
with all the scary stuff that happens at schools, it's absolutely important that they're on high alert. I think that's a good thing.
But I think maybe they should have explained. Somebody should have let people know they were going to be doing a dress-up day. Apparently, a Brooklyn coffee shop is suing Starbucks. You know why?
Why?
They say they stole that unicorn frappuccino idea from us. And we think it's worth $10 million.
Those things are just stupid anyway.
Yeah, so $10 million, and this Brooklyn coffee shop thinks they're going to win. So I guess we'll have to follow that
hope they do.
closely. Probably won't ever mention it again, but, one or the other. Ghost gator caught after roaming Florida City. An 8-foot alligator nicknamed Ghost Gator because it has the ability to vanish as soon as they get close to capturing it, has had months of stalking a Florida neighborhood, now turned up in a backyard, and they finally caught him. So an 8-foot alligator. Can you imagine walking out in your backyard, having an 8-foot alligator out there?
No.
That would be pretty darn creepy. Southwest Airlines pilot surprises the 1 millionth passenger. Guess what they did?
I read about this.
Did you?
I did.
They dragged her down the aisle. No, that was a different.
they
never
did
mind. That was
not. It was
somebody
a different
else.
airline.
Southwest Airline surprised the 1 millionth passenger by refunding their ticket. Ever since he started at Southwest Airlines 22 years ago, the pilot has been keeping track of all the passengers that he has flown, and he has hit the 1 million mark. So not for the whole company, just the people that he's flown himself.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That is very cool. What a nice guy to say, hey, you know what? You're my 1 millionth passenger. I'm going to pay for your ticket for you.
Yeah, that's cool.
2 vandals in Norway overlooked a small but crucial detail when they started smashing up an elevator that they were inside. The elevator got its revenge on the vandals, sealing its doors and holding them for the police. They were inside the elevator, trashing it. There's a camera in there. There was a way for them to just pause. Yeah, you're not going anywhere. So they waited till the cops arrived and then released the elevator for the police to have these guys walk out into their arms. That's not a good plan, is it? It's a good plan for the good guys, but the vandals, what were you thinking?
I wonder if that pilot counted his millionth customer from the back of the plane to the front or from the front of the plane to the back, because they load like front of the plane to the back, which has never made sense to me. You should start loading at the back and work your way to the front.
I'm assuming that it probably is by when they walked into the door. As he got close. Anyway, final story. A guy in Australia found a cockroach inside of his M&M chocolate bar. Took 4 bites out of it before spotting it. So he found half of a cockroach in a chocolate bar. Not good.
But you know what? I bet there are all kinds of bugs in all chocolate bars.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
Because there's big vats that are spinning chocolate around stuff, and flies and things are going to be landing in there. You think there's not bug guts in everything?
Let's just not talk about that. How's that sound? Coming up, we've got some more fun stuff. We got a guest on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
80s in the Sand will be happening this November in Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic.
And that'll be here before you know it.
Join us and have a blast with 80s in the Sand.
An all-inclusive vacation with some of the greatest bands of the 80s.
Plus, you can meet some 80s icons from the movies and television as well.
Get all the details at 80sinthesand.com.
Use promo code RADIO to get a $200 immediate refund per person.
That website is 80sinthesand.com.
Book your week-long 80s vacation now at 80sinthesand.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We got a guest joining us today. I'm actually excited to visit with her. Lisa England is the young lady we're going to be talking about, and I think she can actually help me, because what she does is helps people that have a lot to say to figure out how to narrow it down and say what's most important. And Lisa, how are you doing today?
I'm doing so well.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us here. And now, how did you get into the business that you're in, where you kind of help people figure out what they want, what their most important things are when they're building websites or doing different things? I always struggle with that, because I want to say everything, but I probably don't need to say it all, do I?
Probably not. Probably you need to say the most important things, but the challenge then becomes, how do you sort out what is the most important thing? When you have, think of what you do like a tier of ideas or a ladder. How do you climb down through the layers to get to the real bottom rung of that ladder or the bottom layer of that tier? That can become the hard part.
So who would you say are most of the people you work with? Are they people that are like writing books or building websites or printing posters, or who is it that you would say is kind of your main people that you typically work with?
Well, they can be doing any of those things, but I think what unites them is that they are multi-passionate entrepreneurs, people who have more than one business, more than one configuration of income streams, and it becomes very difficult when they go out to a networking event or go to build that website or have to create a brochure or something like that, and narrow down all of those things into one simple story.
So when somebody says, "So what do you do for a living?" and then they rattle on for 15 minutes, and I also, I'm like, okay, that's enough. I was just being polite.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. It's that sort of situation. Or it can be the opposite, where you end up kind of just saying nothing and shrugging and mumbling something about, oh, well, I do a lot of things. And then your moment to really actually connect with that person is sort of lost because, you kind of take the opposite tack of, well, I can't say it all, so I don't know what to say at all.
So how do you know how much is enough, how much is too much, and how much is not enough? Is there kind of a rule of thumb that you work with there?
Yeah, I usually like to say you have more than 3 income streams or 3 passions or 3 things going on that you really want to talk about when you're pitching yourself. Try to pick the big 3. Don't have 5, don't have 7. If you can at least narrow it down to 3, that really helps. And what's even better is if you can narrow the 3 down into one purpose. If you can find that one driving, motivating factor that really does inspire those radically different things, then you can get down from 3 and just focus on the one motivating factor and casually mention, how that works out in real life, how you turn that passion into a tangible experience.
Because, that I like what you just said there, is you could have multiple things, and I've seen this before, where you'll have multiple different, I'm trying to think of the right way to say it. See, I need somebody that's a wordsmith that can help me here, Lisa. So, you might have multiple different products that you offer or services that you offer, but if all of those products or services are really designed to help the same people, you could kind of use one umbrella to describe all of them, as we help businesses save money with blah, 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 but you don't necessarily need to explain that I do this and I do this and I do this and I do this and I do this. If all of those things are kind of designed to do the same thing, you could explain it by saying I help businesses save money by blah, 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 by doing that. Is that kind of what you're talking about, or maybe I'm way off?
Yeah, no, that is definitely a part of it. And sometimes it can be more challenging than other times to sort through what does tie those things together. And that's usually where I come in, is where it's hard to identify on the surface, okay, yeah, these 3 things are related. I mean, in my past life, that was a lot more difficult because I was practicing as an artist, working as a designer or a communicator, or actually within the events industry as well. And then oftentimes I'd be working on a cause that I cared about, and I kind of wanted to express all those things. Now that I'm focusing more on communication and doing things like this, helping people, sort through these communication challenges, it's become a lot more, easy for me. But I still get, women. I had one woman mention to me recently that she works, in historical preservation. She sells a product, and then she coaches people and I can't remember what it was. But anyway, you have a coaching, you have a product business, and then you have working in this historical preservation. 3 wildly different industries. Yeah. That's where this process gets really exciting and where it becomes really important.
Again, visiting right now with the young lady that has the website HeroShift.com. Lisa England is her name. Lisa is the Chief Story Officer at HeroShift.com. Now, why the name HeroShift? That's kind of a fun name, but is there a specific reason for the name HeroShift?
Yes, partly because process of getting down to that core, telling your story is a really important part of that, because it's very often in your story, and really recognizing yourself as the hero of a story, that you are able to find that narrowing or that pivot moment where you say, okay, I'm starting to see the pattern. It's all around, this or that. As it's developed over the years, HeroShift has now become really also more of shorthand for a program that I do where, people who are struggling to identify how to pitch all of these things can then go seamlessly into an experience where they will then create the brand and the website that are able to reflect all of those things for them as well. And so HeroShift in that sense can also mean I'm stepping up to be the hero of my brand. But it does start with your story in any case.
And I love the fact that you're saying it starts with your story, because that's important. And I'm looking on the website here. There's a little a jeweler that said, Lisa gave me the opportunity to actually craft a message without being commercial or feeling fake. So many times when you start talking to somebody, they use what I always refer to as ad speak. They say things that you never hear in real life, but, They start talking about things and it sounds like a commercial, but if you can actually get right to the heart and talk about why do you do what you do, why are you so passionate about, in this person's case, making jewelry, it's a completely different story than been in a family business with free parking and blah, 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 all these ad speak terms. But I love the fact that you're helping them tell their story. Yeah,
it's essentially that at the end of the day, because if you can capture and say what you do inside of a story, you have a much better chance of connecting with someone else. And you're going to be more likely, as you pointed out, to use words that we commonly use instead of dropping into inflated language that sometimes we just use because we're nervous or we genuinely feel insecure about what we're saying, and so we just subconsciously begin to, appropriate those bigger words, try to somehow, feel like we're in control of the situation for ourselves.
And I hear commercials that have words that you'll never hear in real life, and it's funny. There was one for a product where there was a guy. I'm not even kidding. This is a true story. He pops out of a manhole cover, so it's supposed to be like a working man, and they're asking him, supposedly this real guy, what he likes about this product, and here's what he says: it effervesces. Oh, who says it's something like that? And this is a company that talks about the effervescent powers of their product, and I just thought, are you serious? You got some dude in a flannel shirt popping out of a manhole cover with a hard hat saying it effervesces. I mean, that was so phony looking. And when it feels fake and it sounds fake and you know that it is fake, you don't even pay attention to it, do you?
No, that is absolutely true. And our brains are conditioned to shut down, so many of those things that we hear in our culture because, we're looking for that and we're hearing that. And what our brains are scanning for is, a human being that we can connect to because we've had some kind of similar experience. And when you can tap into that, that's what people remember, and that's when you're going to get the call after the event, or they're going to, look you up or something because there was something there. That little firing, of the two sparks between two souls, it really does make a difference.
Well, Lisa, I appreciate you taking the time to chat with me. I've been excited to visit with you because that's one of the things I struggle with. Sometimes, I've got so much that I want to say that I don't know where to start. So I'm going to have to try to narrow it down to 3 things now because I learned that from Lisa. See, I remember some stuff here. I have to narrow. Now I just got to sit down and figure out what 3 things are the most important. But that's my project for the rest of the day. For other folks that want to maybe learn more about you, how do they find you? I've got the website HeroShift.com. Is that the best place to go?
Yes, HeroShift.com is a great place to go. Also, LisaEngland.com. That's a site that kind of looks at my overarching work a little bit more of what's available. Once you've figured out what your story is, then we can move more into if you need help with the marketing or crafting the website that really is tailored to someone who has multiple things going on at once. That's a good place to learn more about that. And then, of course, social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Lisa England LLC.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a true pleasure.
And again, Lisa England right there with HeroShift.com. And that was fun. I got to learn what I've been doing wrong. I've been trying to say it all, trying to squeeze it all into one conversation. So I have to quit doing that and narrow it down to 3 things. So I'll be back in a bit with another break, and I'll say way less. That's all on the way.
John and Heidi.
Would you like custom t-shirts for an event or sports team? We understand that usually the budget's not unlimited. We have full-color custom printed t-shirts for just $7 each. That's one of the best prices you'll find anywhere. No minimum orders, so you can print just 1 or print 1,000. The price is just $7 per shirt with a minimal setup fee per design. Make the memories of your next event last forever or help your team look amazing with a little help from CustomShirtInc.com. That's CustomShirtInc.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Coffee as a world commodity is greater than every commodity out there but one. Guess which one is a little bit bigger than coffee?
Oil?
Yeah, that is it. Ding, ding, ding. Coffee comes in number 2 to oil. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Dolphins sleep with one eye open. Oh, hey, I think you're part dolphin.
Do I sleep with one eye open?
I don't know. You always find out when I wake up for any reason. We're married, so that's why.
Probably will tonight. It hurt my eye.
Yeah, she was shooting a gun and a bullet flew back and hit her in the eye. Not the bullet,
It
but
didn't.
the casing.
The casing, but it landed on my arm of
Protective
my
eyewear.
safety goggles and just rested against my skin, and it was hot.
Apparently, there was some sort
It's
of
got a
design
big old
flaw.
welt on my eyeball now. Not my eyeball, but my skin. It's like, oh my
My
gosh.
wife is now Popeye. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that,
Marvin
John?
Gardens in the Monopoly game is not spelled the same as Marvin Gardens outside of Atlantic City, New Jersey, which the board game is based on. They spelled it with an I instead of an E. I don't know if that was an accident or if they did that on purpose. And our final fun fact for you,
What's
Heidi.
that, John?
The official name of the St. Louis Arch Gateway is the Jefferson National Expansion Monument. But you never hear people call it that. They call it by its nickname, the Arch, the St. Louis Arch. Have you ever heard the long name?
No.
That you only hear that when the Arch is in trouble. That's when you say, listen here, Jefferson National Expansion Monument. You ever notice, like when you're in trouble, that's when mom and dad break out the middle name? That was the joke. It clearly didn't work. But I appreciate you listening. I'll be here all week. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Have you thought of starting a home-based business but didn't like the idea of calling family and friends? This top-quality fitness and health products company lets you take advantage of their advertising power to reach people who wish to add a few hundred or a few $1,000s a week to their income by following a simple system. Plus, everyone who joins the team after you benefits you as well. To learn more about how you can leverage your time to help others get healthy and create wealth from home, call Scott Smith at 866-741-7242. That's 866-741-7242.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. A professor at Bowling Green State University has worked on some studies about romance and romantic behavior and did a little study, asked adults between the ages of 18 and 79 about the most romantic behavior. Here are their top 10 in no particular order. It's not numbered. There's bullet points in front of them. Why wouldn't they put numbers?
I don't know.
To let me know which one is number one.
I don't know.
So I'm going to leave that. I'll start at the bottom, assuming that it's listed 1 through 10 this way. So number 10, these are the most romantic behaviors. You tell me if you agree. Touching, like on your knee or on your hand or patting you on the shoulder.
Yeah, I like that.
You think that's pretty romantic?
Yeah.
Give me your hand over here. Let me
Just
touch
do
you.
the show.
Number 9, walking in the evening, at night, in the rain, in the moonlight, just going for a walk together.
Yeah, I like going for walks.
Want to go for a walk?
Yeah.
All right. Can I hold your hand? Number, whatever the next one is. Gifts. Buying gifts. Not necessarily expensive things like diamonds and jewelry. Those things are good too, but just any gift. Next
agree
on the
with
list,
that.
sharing outdoor leisure activities. Going for a picnic or a beach
I
or ice
love
skating.
picnics.
A moonlight swim or dive, fishing, walking in the park, whatnot. How about this one? I think we're halfway there. The hug. You know,
Yeah,
just
I
a
love
hug.
hugs.
Just a hug.
Yes.
I think we're up to 5. Here's where. Holding hands.
I like
Is
to
that
hold
romantic?
hands.
Why don't you? I've been holding my
I'm
hand
working.
towards you. Give me your hand. I'm not going to read the next one to you. Give me your hand. There we go. Thank you. See? Had to bribe you into it. Number 4, talking. Do you think talking is romantic? Does it depend what I say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably
it kind of
no.
depends on what we're talking about.
Probably mark that one as a no. You're gonna talking is out. Number 3, dinner. It says making dinner for them. Candlelight, wine, music, no kids. Dinner, romantic to you?
Yes.
Flowers is number 2 on the list. Giving flowers, is that, if I give you flowers, is that romantic?
It is if you would like pick me my favorite flowers,
Oh, okay.
but I don't really need flowers purchased for me.
And the top most romantic behavior, men and women between the ages of 18 and 79, what do you think number 1 is on the list?
I don't know. Kissing, huh?
Uh-huh. Yeah, kissing. Smooching. There you go. That's the top 10 most
I'd rather have
romantic
hugs
things.
than a kiss any day.
Well, I'll come over and give you a hug. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Get over here.
John and Heidi.
I love watching TV shows and movies, but I hated seeing my monthly bill get higher and higher. All that money every month just to watch TV. Well, not anymore. We cut our cable. We were paying $185 a month for channels we didn't even watch. Now we pay for just the internet, and we save about $150 a month. And we still get to watch what we want, when we want, with no monthly fee. Learn how you can do this too at channelsurfertv.com. Watch the video there to learn how to watch movies and TV with no monthly fee. Do it today and save 50% at channelsurfertv.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Got a time saver for all of you out there that utilize Gmail. I didn't know about this. I'm going to actually have to do this because I catch myself doing this all the time. Do you respond with the same thing to a lot of different people, like when you're doing email? Do you have it where you have a specific like canned response you use for certain things?
For certain things, yeah.
Well, if you do, take a listen to this. It says something might be a time saver for you. There's a way to automate the process of writing emails in Gmail, especially if you tend to send the same redundant email all day, every day. There's a feature in Gmail called Canned Responses that lets you create email templates that you can reuse later, so you're not writing things like thank you letters over and over and over, and it's free. And I've got a link to this on our Facebook page. I have not used it yet, so I don't know if it's good.
Who emails thank you letters?
I don't know.
Thank you letters are supposed to be mailed and handwritten.
Okay. But if you're just saying, hey, thanks for doing, this favor for me, whatever, that kind of thing.
Well, that you wouldn't be doing over and over and over again.
Oh, yeah. There are things that, there are groups that I'm a part of where I help them and they help me, and I'm responding all the time with a little note that I copy and paste.
Okay.
And if you're in that group, I type that to you each and every time.
And it is heartfelt and sincere.
Heartfelt every single time. And maybe I shouldn't talk about this. I'm going to use this super secret thing. Forget I mentioned it. Forget I mentioned any of this. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Social networks like Facebook and Twitter and all of those different things out there. There's so many of them now. What's that other one? FaceTube or that's
Anyway.
not it. Instagram. I don't know. A bunch of them. Anyway, they may blunt your sense of reality, according to new research from brain scientists. New evidence shows the digital explosion of info from networking sites could actually have long-term damaging effects on your emotional development if you're a young person. The danger is that heavy Twitter and Facebook users could become indifferent to the emotions of people. What do you think of that?
That's a concern. I've actually seen that already in the young people. You can see it happening.
Does that affect you, or are you indifferent to it like the kids apparently are becoming? Are you like, or are you going, oh, that's too bad?
Do I think what's too bad?
That this is happening.
I think it's horrible.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I was checking to see if you were young. Because if you're young, you go,
I'm old, you know that.
I was just checking to see. Coming up, going to talk about something happening in Florida that's just amazing to me. That's on the way.
John and Heidi.
It's almost graduation time. If you have a son or daughter finishing high school, you need to hear this. They can go to college without racking up a pile of student loans. Matthew Einstein did. He saved over $70,000 on a top-rate education. Then he built a system to show you how to do it too. Learn how you can use this system for your kids or for yourself. Go to freeeducationuniversity.com. Sign up now and get a free 60-minute private consultation with Matthew. Use promo code RADIO20 to save 20% at freeeducationuniversity.com. That's freeeducationuniversity.com.
John and Heidi.
It happened in one city. If you smoke, you can't work for the city of Temple Terrace, Florida. Will it come to every city? The new adopted policy in Temple Terrace, Florida, they will not hire any city employee who is a smoker. Furthermore, if you now work there, you have to quit or look for another job. And if you smoke, you will likely feel this hiring policy is unfair, maybe even illegal, but the city of Temple Terrace obviously doesn't agree with you. And it's all about a healthier, more productive workforce and reducing the cost of health insurance coverage. Now, smokers take more sick days, and smokers are ill more often. Smokers take too many breaks from work, and smokers drive up the health costs of insurance. So Temple Terrace, Florida finally said, that's it. No job for you, smokers. What do you think of that, Heidi?
I don't have
I'm not a
with
smoker, but I come from a family that had, a mom and a dad that both smoked. And I think it's really sad because I know there are people who try to quit smoking and they can't. So if they're addicted and they can't quit and they're trying to stop and they're, now all of a sudden they lose their job too, that's kind of weird. So I think that's the part that I struggle with is that they're going to, if you smoke and you won't quit, they're going to fire you. I think that's kind of tough. I guess we'll see how it goes and maybe it'll
But
catch
if they
on.
really care about it, they'll quit smoking.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It's just kind of crazy because is it legal to do that? Can they fire you for that? Reason for firing. Smoker.
I don't know.
That just
Apparently
seems-
they can.
I don't know. It just seems like a weird thing. I don't know. I don't. I know listening right now, you're probably shocked that I'm not an attorney. I'm not even an attorney spokesman. They won't let me do that. So I just read this goofy stuff on the radio. But it just seems really weird to me. It seems like you could
I think that's a slippery slope. You
I think
start
so,
something
too.
like that, and you could say, "Well, I'm and you are getting fired because you're obese, and you are getting fired,
Yeah, you start
because
just
your
these broad
family has a
strokes.
history of heart disease."
Yeah. I'm firing you just because I just don't like you. So everybody's fired. I'm starting over, clean slate. Have a great day. All right.
Yeah, that's a tricky
Coming
one.
up, we've got some good news that is on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. I always try to wrap things up around here with some good news, and I think this is good news. This is actually one of those things that I don't know if it's got to be, you got to see it to believe it, or you just have to be happy, but I can explain it to you. I've got a video here of a 100-year-old grandmother just celebrated her birthday, and she's enjoying life to the fullest. And there's a picture. Can you see the video there,
I've
Heidi?
seen this, and she's
This
adorable.
Sweet little old lady dancing her heart out. And got a
She
little-
moves better than I do.
That's what I say. She's grooving to some Elvis tunes right now. And I'm reading the comments on here, and everybody that's on there is saying, look at her go. Look how, and you can just tell she is having a blast.
Yeah, she is.
She is 101 years young, and she's just celebrated her birthday, turned 101. She's living life to the fullest. And if you've got a minute, I mean, if you're having a bad day and you just need
This
to
will
cheer
make you
up,
smile.
seriously, if you watch this and you don't smile, check your pulse, man. There may be a problem. Oh, look at her. She's just so darn happy. Could you sit and watch this for like 3 more minutes? We're going to run out of time if we do. But if you'd like to see the video, it is on our Facebook page. And we try to make sure we put happy, positive, good, fun things on there every day. So if you ever are having a bad day and you're just going, man, I could sure use a smile, go and check
Just
out
go
some
to
of the
that
good
page.
news.
That's right.
Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. And you'll see this little video. You can hear him hooting and hollering in the background. I'm going to stop that now. Anyway, fun stuff there. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We still have room for more Dear John letters as well. If you'd like to get one, you can get it sent in. We have those every Thursday at this time. Actually, it's not at this time. It's every Thursday earlier in the show. But I always like to remind you at the end. So if you have a Dear John letter and you'd like to share it, Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
Time now for the bonus break on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Sunny Radio, where it's always in the 80s. Thank you so much for joining us on this Monday morning. I've got a special guest right now. I have Kristina Kunze, and she is a party planner in Sioux City, Iowa, and she's a part of a new program, an entrepreneurship program, and I had a chance to meet her a few weeks back, and she's got a business called Party Planning for You. Kristina, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very, very good. I had a chance to meet you at Western Iowa Tech in the classroom there, and you were kind of telling me a little bit about your business back then. Now, first of all, how long have you been working on this idea?
Thanks for having me, but I've been working on it since last October.
Very cool. And what made you decide, I want to be a party planner? Was there something specific about this that was really drawing you to it?
I just love organizing things and looking at the faces on the people when everything comes together. It's just what I live for.
Very cool. Now, so is there like a specific kind of party that you really like to do, like weddings or kids' parties or kind of everything?
Weddings are probably my absolute favorite.
Yeah, it's kind of their big special day, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Now, how does that work? So maybe somebody listening has got a son or daughter, or maybe it's even them that's going to be getting married. How far in advance do they usually need to reach out to you if they'd like to have you help them with the planning of the party?
If they want a full-service wedding, I suggest 7 months to a year.
Okay.
But if they need help just on the day of or the rehearsal, they can let me know within a month's time.
That's really cool. So here's what I'm going to suggest. As soon as you say, yes, I'll marry you, pick up the phone and call Kristina right away. So, and then after you get off the phone with Kristina, then you can call Mom and Grandma and let them know you're getting married.
Yep, there you go.
Again, Party Planning for You is the name of the company. I've got a link to her website, and I'm on it right now. I put a link at facebook.com/sunnyradio to make it really, really easy for you. But this is a nice little website. Did you put this together?
Yes, I did.
And that's really cool. And you've got all kinds of info on here. So if folks are looking to plan a party and they're trying to make sure that they have all the details, but I like on here that you've got some little tips on, venues and who to bake things and the travel agents and decorations and all kinds of cool tips for a person that may be planning a party.
Yeah, it's really exciting. If you have them tell me that they found me through Sunny Radio, I'll even hook them up with a 20% discount off of a full-service wedding.
There you go. So if you're getting married and you want to save some money with Sunny, just call and talk to Kristina and say, hey, I heard you on the radio with that goofball on the radio there, and I want to save some money. Now, do you do planning for weddings like all over the place or just in Sioux City? Like if somebody is listening in Iowa or Nebraska, can you help them as well? Or South Dakota or Nebraska?
Of course.
Okay, nice.
Yep, I do the surrounding area.
Very cool. So if you're planning a party and you're trying to come up with some really cool stuff, now this is something that you decided to kind of put together as a business idea. Has it been kind of what you were expecting so far, or what have been some of the more interesting things you've learned along the way?
Some of the more interesting things have been everything that is combined in a wedding and all of the stuff that you have to do and put together. It's just all amazing. I've loved every single second of it. Now,
have you had a wedding yet, Kristina? Are you married, or you still get to plan yours in the future?
I still get to plan mine in the future, but my first wedding that I have to plan is next weekend.
That is awesome. So just imagine when it comes time for you to say I do, just imagine how much fun your wedding is going to be to plan.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting.
Again, our guest right now, Kristina Kunze, and she is a student at Western Iowa Tech, and she's part of an entrepreneurship class there, and she has a business that she started, planning weddings, and it's called, or not just weddings, but all kinds of parties, but it's Party Planning for You. And I've got a link to her website at facebook.com/sunnyradio to make it really easy for people to find her. Now, are there any specific kind of parties that you'd really like to plan? Like if somebody's listening and they want to do like a 50th anniversary, or they want to do a Sweet 16 party, or is there a specific kind of party that you're going, man, I'd love to get my hands on one of those?
Yeah, kind of like an anniversary party or a huge birthday party. I haven't done one of those, but they seem really exciting. And
so if somebody listening knows somebody that's got a special anniversary coming up, or if you know somebody that's got a special birthday coming up and maybe could utilize some help planning that, that could be maybe a great opportunity for them to reach out to you as well.
Yes, it would.
Well, I appreciate you taking some time to chat. I know you've been very busy. Now, when are you guys done with school? Are you wrapping up here fairly soon?
Yep, I graduate Thursday.
Holy cow! So Thursday is the big day. Now, congratulations on all the success you've had so far putting this together. And I know in visiting with John, he's been real excited for you. It sounds like you've got a lot of fun things in the works.
Thank you. I really, really appreciate it.
And again, if you would like to reach out to Kristina, I'm going to give you the place to go, facebook.com/sunnyradio, and you're going to see right on there, I've got a link that takes you directly to her website. And can we give your phone number out, too, if somebody's driving and maybe they want to just give you a call right now?
Yeah, of course. It's 712-577-2009.
All right, 712-577-2009. If you're going to have a party of some sort that you want to plan, reach out and talk to Kristina. And if you call her right away and say, hey, I heard you talking to that guy on the radio, she's going to give you a little discount as well. So thank you for doing that. That's nice of you.
Yeah, anytime.
Well, it's been fun to chat. Thank you so much for taking the time, and congratulations. Have fun graduating on Thursday.
All right, thank you so much.
Again, Kristina Kunze is the young lady that's got a really fun business called Party Planning for You, and she's an entrepreneur student at Western Iowa Tech, graduates this Thursday. That's really cool. If you'd like to reach out to her, I'll give you her number right now, and if you call and somebody else is on the line, just leave a message, and then she'll get back to you. But it's 712-577-2009. And again, all of the details are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/sunnyradio.